Hi there, it's Jacqueline. It's cooking time. It's Thursday. It's 3 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. And I just went in today and got my tires switched out. Yes, believe it or not, summer is officially over in the Okanagan because as of October 1st, in order for me to drive through the mountains, I have to have winter tires on. So anyway, I thought today would be a good day to share some comfort meals with you and to save you a bit on your budget. So I'll just wait to let me know when you've arrived here and we'll get the event started. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to focus on a selection. Well, actually, it's only one, but it's in a selection of products. Hey, Vicki, good to see you. So currently right now we have a spotlight solution. This is an opportunity for you to save money by purchasing products that's available for a short period of time. Hi, Linda. And right now, to save you a little bit of money, bonjour. We've got Thai coconut soup available. I love this. I do. And the meal that I'm making today, you could probably use almost any of these three. This I've served to guests. This is so divine. Have you tried this? This is the lemon chicken orzo mix. Delicious. And of course, today I'm cooking, as you can see, I've got it already opened, our creamy pesto parmesan chicken. Now, I'm not gonna just make this the standard way because I wanna make sure that you stretch your budget, that you have lots of meals, that you're cooking once and eating at least twice, and that it's healthy, fast, and easy, and fun. So let's get started. What am I gonna call this? I think I'm gonna call it a pesto parmesan chicken squash boat. Wow, that's really long. I sure hope I'm not paying by the letter. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. So we're gonna get started with our saute pan. We're gonna get it heated up with a little bit of oil. And I'm also, when I said squash boats, we're gonna use spaghetti squash. I love spaghetti squash. Spaghetti squash, when I was growing up, it was like, to me, how many of you love spaghetti squash? I loved it as a child because it's very mellow and mild, and I just thought it was so super cool that when I cooked it, it would be like noodles. So I'm gonna give you some fun food facts on that, but we're gonna get this in the microwave ASAP, because this is gonna heat up very quickly. So taking a little bit of your Parmesan, creamy Parmesan pesto, I'm just going to sprinkle it a little bit on the edges here because I want to get some flavor in my bowl. I may also want to put some salt and pepper, or if you have the opportunity to have SPG, you might want to put a little bit of this in here as well. And we're going to put this in our multi-purpose steamer. Come on, Jacqueline, you know better. Make sure you always put the vents away from you. Put it in the microwave, and microwaves are the best way for you to cook get your squash cooked because it steams, it makes the cooking so much quicker. If I was to put this in an oven and cook it, it's gonna take, I don't know, 45, 60 minutes, 10, 14 minutes. I think it's gonna take 14 minutes in my microwave. So let's just put that in there. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. My pot is cooking now. I can feel the heat coming off here. You don't want to put meat in a skillet when your oil's not hot because it's just gonna absorb into your meat. And I'm using chicken today. You could use chicken thighs, chicken breasts. You could even use minced beef, so ground beef. You could use pork. This is such a versatile recipe. Hey Cheryl, good to see you. Such a versatile recipe for you to use. So as you know, I love my chicken. So I'm just going to cook some chicken up. Oops. Good to the last drop. Should mention this. This is our 4-cup prep bowl. It comes with a lid. And if you're wanting to save money and you love these, you've probably seen me do my cooking classes. Can you freeze the other half? Yes, Linda. Yes, you can. So in fact, you may even want to grab this to freeze it in. You could freeze it in here, or put it in a baggie if you want to save a little bit of space. So certainly you can freeze this recipe. In fact, I'm doing a whole bunch of it, so that's exactly what I'm doing. So if you don't have SPG, feel free to use salt or pepper, your choice. Get some flavoring on your chicken. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to brown this. So I'm just making sure that it's, of course it was sitting out on the counter so you can see it's leached out some liquid, but that'll all brown in a second. So let me give you some fun food facts while we're waiting. So frozen spaghetti squash will retain the best quality, yeah, in the freezer for about 6 months, 100%, right? Any squash lasts forever, and while it's on sale, grab it. So here we go. Let me tell you a little bit about spaghetti squash. Like, I loved it. It's so mellow. You can use this for anything. And actually, believe it or not, it was actually called noodle on a vine when it first started. They were hoping to get popularity. Spaghetti squash, they believe, comes from the Americas, but they don't know where in America. And they tried to get it out there. In fact, in 1932, the seeds for spaghetti squash were available in catalogs. I mean, we couldn't go to grocery stores and buy stuff back then, right? You had to grow your own. But it never really took effect in being popular until it came back again in about the 60s. And that's, dating myself, that's about when I was born, in the 60s. But until microwaves came in, that's when it really started grabbing attention, because you could steam these spaghetti squash in the microwave in, well, like I said, minutes. So much better. So that's where the rage started coming in. So in 1982, it really took over. And of course, spaghetti squash has got really low calorie intake. So it's, in my opinion, a lot better than pasta, which has a higher glycemic index and all that crazy fun stuff that you really don't want to know, but just know that spaghetti squash is good for you. So grab it while it's here. Yum, yum, yum. So my story about spaghetti squash, we used to have a garden in where I grew up, my hometown. I don't know if my mom's watching, but I remember being a little girl, and we used to go to a valley. It was called the Wapiti River, and it was by Grand Prairie, Alberta. So Google that, go look. I loved going there because you could find, wherever you went, oh there, my mom is watching and she gave me a high five. You could find fossils everywhere then. Do you remember that, Mom? Fossils everywhere. But we used to go to, I think it was called Dunvegan Gardens on the Wapiti River. And I remember my mom buying spaghetti squash. It was one of my faves. So now that the weather's, it's a little rainy here, I put my winter tires on, I'm feeling like, oh boy, summer's over. I just need a comfort meal. So, hey Julie, good to see you as well. So we've got our chicken. We want to make sure we brown this a little bit because the spaghetti squash is already cooking. So really, this is going to be a meal that you can just put together really, really quick. So how many of you, I'm curious, post below because I want to know how you do your spaghetti squash. Do you just steam it or do you do it in recipes? What's your plan? I'm waiting. Just kidding. Okay, so anyway, we're going to get this done, but I am curious. We're going to use spinach as well today. Spinach is good for you. Yes. Popeye loves it. So do I. I always carry spinach in my fridge. This is good for putting in smoothies. And we're going to add about 4 cups of that as well. But we want to make sure that we get our chicken done first. Oops. Put that guy back in a minute. Okay, so this is almost ready to rumble. And I do like making sure that my chicken is just starting to brown. I don't want to overcook it really because I don't want it to dry out because I am actually using chicken breasts. Chicken thighs, of course, you can go a little bit longer. There's a little bit more moisture in that. If you want to kick this up a notch, I am the spice gal actually, you know that. You may want to add chili flakes and garlic as well. I do like this. All right, so we've got this going. Now, in order to make this all come together, now that we've got our chicken cooked, can you see that it's all cooked here? We're gonna add some milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. We're gonna heat that up, and we're going to add our package of creamy pesto Parmesan chicken. This is going to make a really nice sauce inside our spaghetti boats. Now, if you have a whisk, use a whisk. If you've got a sauté spoon, use that. You're gonna wanna stir it fairly quickly because this is going to pull together quite quickly and thicken. And once it starts thickening, I'm going to add my spinach to it. If you don't, I will say, of course, pesto has a really strong flavor. So if you're cooking for kids, you may want to consider going in a milder version. I'm thinking, okay, my son Reed, when he was little, was a picky eater. Oh my gosh, he was the picky eater. So a couple different options that you could do if you wanted. You could do mac and cheese or Alfredo. Alfredo's got a little bit more peppery flavor in it, but this would be really mild. So if you're wanting to get some veggies into your children's meals, you could just do mac and cheese instead. So you can see it's coming, it's thickening. I'm gonna go to the microwave here pretty soon. Let it set up a little bit further. And we're going to add our spinach now because this has got to steam a little bit. So roughly about 4 cups, and you know that this will shrink down to almost nothing. So in my opinion, that's probably about 4 cups, maybe a little bit more. The one I was missing earlier. And you're just going to wilt this, get this cooking. It's going to soak up the additional flavors. It's going to mellow it out a little bit. And of course, it's going to look super, super nice in your spaghetti boats. Okay, microwave has gone off. I have the oven also set up. Linda, it's okay to use metal utensils in the saute pan. Yes, okay. Got that covered. Yeah, this saute pan is it's really good on, I've got an induction stove. It's good on all different types of stoves, but I like how deep it is. It's about 2.5 inches in high, so it's really good for doing chilies. And I am totally one for, you know, if you're cooking, cook it so that you've got leftovers. I've been asked by a number of people, will you do a freezer meal workshop? And honestly, all you need to do is make our meals, double the recipe, and freeze it. I don't know, I guess I could do a workshop. I did say I would do one, but consider this a workshop because I'm gonna have enough for leftovers. Yeah, Linda, I agree. This saute pan is amazing. There's an outlet sale right now. I will let you know. So if you go to my e-commerce website, go check out the outlet sale. A lot of our summer line is leaving because our new season will be starting on October the 3rd, and everything that's on that outlet sale is now 20% off. They need to clean out the warehouse because we've got a lot of really exciting, I've been taste testing, by the way, really exciting new product coming in. I've tasted everything already so far, and my ambassadors have tasted it when I whipped in to do my launch, and they liked it all. I'm just warning you. Okay, I'm turning this down because I do not want this to overcook. Let me go get my spaghetti squash. Okay, so here's the spaghetti squash. And you can see how it's pulled away. If you want to check it just to make sure that it's ready, take a fork, and if it pierces nicely, you know that it's ready to go. So because I want to make sure I have protein in here, I've also put in some mozzarella cheese. So I'm just gonna layer this almost like a lasagna, really. So maybe put a little bit of mozzarella cheese. And there is a difference. I was going to tell you some fun food facts about mozzarella cheese. Let me get a saute spoon here. A buffalo cheese is sort of a semi-ripe cheese. The pizza mozzarella, totally different. So I'm using the pizza mozzarella today just because it's more firm. This is very liquidy. And you can see that that package made a lot. So I'm just going to fill this boat. Now, you're probably saying, okay, can you get 2 of these? When you're buying your spaghetti squash, look for size. Size does matter when you're going to try to cook 2. I've actually got one in the oven right now, which I've set the oven for 425 degrees because we're just going to thicken this up with a little bit of cheese in the oven. So let's just pull that off. Grabbing my extra cheese again. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the top. And I'm just looking, where is my little grater? Give me a second. I'm not as organized as I thought I was. Okay, so I'm going to just grab some Parmesan. If you have Parmesan, you can put it on. If you don't worry about it. I tend to love my Parm. So put some of that on. Okay, and now I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay, remember I steamed this. This is the lovely thing that I like about the multi-purpose steamer is that this can go in the microwave or in the oven. So my oven's set at 425 degrees and I'm basically just going to melt the cheese and thicken up that sauce in the oven so it gets nice and crispy. I've already got one going, so I'm going to just swap these out right now. Let me go grab that so you can see how beautiful it looks. 1 second. All right, so there is what your spaghetti squash looks like when you're done. Now this is like a meal right in, a little hot, meal right in a boat. So I'm just gonna grab, let's see, what can I do? Maybe a fork. If you have a bowl, I have an oblong bowl or get a plate. And you might just want to scoop this out. As you can see, this is a lot of food for one person. So if you're doing one spaghetti squash, and you're doing both sides, and I could have put both of these in the steamer, this would be easily a meal for 4. I'm telling you. And when you're serving this, if you want, and you're going to be freezing it, make sure that you shred it, because this will just shred super, super easy. And you can probably see that it's actually pulling right away from the wall. Can you see that? So there you go, folks. That is my cooking class for today. This is the Creamy Pesto Parm Chicken. This is at a discount right now with, of course, the additional 2 items. If you want to save some money, maybe you want to grab those right now. If you're wondering how to use our menus, our meal solution packages, I'm going to tell you it is so darn easy. If you just watch your flyers, so go check your flyers, see what's on sale. Buy your meat on sale. Get it the family size pack, you can freeze it. But almost every single meal that we have in our collection, if you just put some protein in it, some veggies in it, you can make almost any of these packages work for you by just switching it out. It's the law of substitution, and it's a really easy way for you to save money when grocery prices are getting so high, and I just want to save you money. So thank you all for watching. I'll post a picture, and I love spaghetti squash. Yes, noodle on a vine, whatever you want to call it. The best. Grab it while it's here. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.